man. Rock's not dead, it just smells bad.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Rock's Not Dead, It Just Smells Bad podcast with your hosts, Tom Auton.
And me, Dan Weaver.
And what is today's question?
So today's question for episode number 2 is, how does anybody make any fucking money in music? So how does an artist who solely focuses on their own sort of original music actually profit from that? How do they make a living?
So, short answer, they don't.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So nobody makes any money for a long time if you are an artist. Because, for a number of reasons. One, you've got knobheads that are saying, oh, we'll pay you for exposure, or you can come and play because there'll be a crowd there. Or even worse, you've got to pay to play.
Oh, man, I hate those so much.
We won't. Well, we can get into that later. But
Yeah.
Short-term answer is that you don't. And you can't make money from streaming. You can't, for a while, make money from playing gigs.
Yeah, well, that's kind of covered by, people just expect you to play for free. Starting up when you first before you've got a big sort of name for yourself, 90% of places and
it's kind of understandable because it all comes down to the fact that are you an asset to whoever's booking you?
Yeah. Well, it comes down to ticket sales. Like, can you move tickets?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's understandable. And I know we, as musicians, we don't like playing for free.
Yeah.
But I've got to say that there has been times where I've thought, I'm going to be honest, right? We got paid 50 quid or something to support Feeder.
Yeah, we did.
Right? But for me, I would have paid more than 50 quid to support Feeder. So in that aspect, I'm like, it kind of weighs out because we played that show and it was great. It was really, really fun. And, from my point of view, up and coming artists, no one's really heard of, myself and the band. And, there's been a lot of people who in my position that would have paid to get on that.
Yeah, and to be honest, I would have understood doing that just because, when it was sort of peak time when everybody was there, there was a couple thousand people or so.
Yeah.
Supporting a big band. If nothing else, it looks good on your, what I like to call the musical CV.
The music CV,
Yeah. So, they're just places you've played, people who you've played with, and you can kind of, just say that about round town to get more gigs.
100%. And it's like, so again, circling back to the question. So in that aspect, I didn't mind playing for little to no money. 50 quids, it covered what? Your booze for the night.
Well, no,
yours.
I think they gave us about 300 quid's worth of free booze.
Yeah, there was that. Personally would have preferred the 300 quid. However, it's fine. I'm not shitting on that show at all. That actually was a really fun show.
No, it was
very grateful to be playing that.
It was a great show. Played with some great acts as well.
Yeah, Buzzard were playing as well.
Buzzard.
Magic Gang were also on the lineup.
Yeah,
they were
them.
sick. Craig Charles.
Yeah, he's my favourite East-Ender.
Yes. And I swear he's from Coronation.
He could be, but either way, I really enjoyed what
Red
he
Dwarf
does
as well. Red Dwarf.
Yeah, he was in Red Dwarf.
So he actually, funny story. Craig Charles didn't actually make friends with Tom from Buzzard.
No, they had a bit of...
they had a falling out.
It's probably the most famous Cardiff music beef that I've ever seen or heard of.
And I wasn't even there. I think I was loading stuff onto stage, and then we went back into the tent and we were next to Buzzard, and Buzzard were like, I just had beef with Craig Charles. And I was like, what? And he was like, on stage, I told him that, I said to the crowd that Red Dwarf was shit, but he didn't mean it because obviously, apparently Tom quite likes Red Dwarf. But
I think he was trying to be a bit sort of ironic or sort of I don't really know.
I found it funny.
I didn't really see it what happened, but
that's what I heard, and I found that funny. And then turns out Craig Charles walked past Tom Rees from Buzzard and went prick.
Do you know what's funny about that as well? I think Josh must have told you as well, but Josh kind of patted Craig Charles on the back and went I actually quite like Red Dwarf. Just.
The patronising, don't worry, mate.
Yeah.
It's all fine. Yeah, don't take any notice of it, mate. You're a big guy. You don't need.
It's okay, mate. You're really good.
Incredible. How did we get onto that? Well, anyway, so that was a fun story. But going back to the main question. So you can't make any money from streaming. There's lots of ways to look at this question in a very depressing way.
Yeah, the biggest thing is the change from actual physical copies of things to streaming. But even then, to get to a point where you're making real money as like an act, like from shows and sales and streaming and merch, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time building up a reputation and a fan base, and it takes a lot of graft to be able to actually earn money.
And that's one thing that I would say. If there are any bands or artists that are like literally just starting out and they've maybe never even done a gig, they've maybe just put one song out, maybe they've not put a song out at all, is that I would say is don't expect anything.
Yeah.
But in a way that, like, think of it like a J curve, right? You start out, like, say a J is like that. I think it's a J for, that'd be a J for them. J is, right. So you start out, basically, you start off and you invest lots and lots of money, lots and lots of time, and receive fuck all in return.
Yeah.
I think it's just good to get that into your head that you will not make money from your music, or very, very likely will not make money. If you do, fair play, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
But you will not make money for a long, long time before you start becoming what lots of people call is an asset. Because essentially, you've got to go to these promoters and these booking agents or whoever, these labels, it could be anyone, whatever the gatekeepers are in the industry, and you have to be able to offer them something.
Yeah.
You can't be saying, what can you do for me? Because I'm not in a position where I'm going to be of any value to anyone, really, apart from maybe if I do a Cardiff show.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where your fan base is at this kind of level, but I guess what you're kind of saying is you need to prove that, well, as you said, that you can be an asset to a company, almost like you're presenting a business plan of a product.
That.
You need to be able to show that, you can gather a target audience, get people interested in this thing being your music, and then be able to actually have the ability to get it out to them and have them enjoy it as well.
100%.
Yeah.
There's that aspect. And, granted, there are maybe a few handful, even less, of promoters that will just take a punt on you because they like your music. And there are people out there, and to be fair play to them, because they don't make any money from it. They know that by putting these acts on that no one's really ever heard of. Yeah. Someone that I know personally that did that for me was a guy called Scott Travers. So remember that he's
Great
like
guy.
12 foot fucking bollock. He's huge. He is massive, right?
Yeah, man. Big
huge.
guy.
His name's Big Scott. That's what we all call him because he's big and Scott. But he was one of the first people that actually gave me a gig, and he was and I didn't really know an awful lot about gigging at the time. I just assumed that, I was doing covers gigs, so I was like, I assume I turn up, I play a set, I get paid, and which is a lovely idea.
Yeah,
lovely idea.
Man.
But when it comes to original music,
what world that would be?
It would be a great world where you go and offer music. Anyway. And he said, we can have you on, but it won't, we can't afford to pay you anything, because obviously the tickets are free. People can just turn up. Or I think they make donations or something like that.
Oh, it was a charity thing, was it?
Well, not necessarily. It's donations, but Scott has his own radio station, which is UNI Radio, which is actually
great radio station.
Yeah,
really
they champion literally only unsigned stuff. And again, unfortunately for him, it probably doesn't make him a lot of money.
No.
Which is why, donations and stuff like that. But going back to the story, Scott was one of the first people that gave me a gig, and has continued to give me gigs since I've met him. I met him when I was about 13. So I think one of the first gigs he put on for me was in Nostar, which is now closed down.
Oh, man, I love that venue.
Yeah, so many places have closed down. If I say some of the places that I played Dempsey's, that's shut down. That's gone.
Man.
But he got me that gig. He got me a gig at Hub Festival. He got me loads. Shout out to Scott. Love Scott.
Great guy. Love him.
Big guy. Big guy. Big energy. Big hair. Big man.
Big
love. Big Love Festival.
Big Love,
he got me a slot at Big Love,
played at
actually.
Big Love Festival. That was good.
Yeah, so there's a handful of people that will actually champion you for the sake of no financial gain, just because they have a passion for it. And those people they're the people you want to find, really.
Yeah, really, they're the heart and soul of the whole thing.
100%.
They just do it out of love for just music, and I don't know, just because they just see something in you and just want to see you do well.
Yeah.
And it's those people that really make it sort of just a nice
I think so, and it's
and
I hope to say, for example, in a couple of years, where if I do end up start making some money, and I'd love to be able to go back to Scott and say, all right, Scott, you can put on a gig for me, and you can take X amount of the, you know what I mean? I can kind of come back and say, or a few gigs or whatever it is, you can put on a tour for me, and I can say, there's the money that you should have really got when you put on a gig for me, but you didn't. So circling back to that whole question of...
But where do you think the point is where an independent artist who does all their own original music actually starts to make the money? What do they need? What's the first step in that?
For me, I would say is to maybe get yourself some merch.
Yeah, merch is a good one.
You do have to invest in buying it. You know, see if you want to order, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50, however many t-shirts you think is doable over a certain period of time, you do have to then obviously buy those t-shirts, and you'll probably have to pay a graphic designer to design you a logo or to design you something on the front. Or if you've got a friend who's in uni or something that just wants experience, great. Then go for it. Pay them in exposure. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Yeah, pay people.
Very hypocritical of us.
Yes, it is. It is. No, I always do try and pay anyone that does stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Man,
yeah,
definitely,
if I can, without being broke.
Yeah, merch is really good. I mean, you can kind of make a good return on that. Like, even if you just sell a couple per show,
for sure, it just covers petrol, and you're not out
maybe even food as well. If you have a good,
you're not out
sort
of
of
pocket,
show. Yeah,
which is kind of the main thing. So merch is probably the best place. Sorry, the best way to make money as you're kind of like coming up.
That's starting up.
Because of course you're not really going to make an awful lot of money on streaming services realistically until 300 to 400,000 streams a month.
Yeah.
To be able to earn minimum wage, and I think that's like part-time or something like that. It's just totally unattainable for someone of this level.
Yeah. So would you? I mean, I think a lot of people starting out in music have the similar kind of maybe misconception, but it might be true that you've first become successful when you get signed.
Not true.
Think that's not true?
I'd say that's not true at all. Success can be whatever you define that as.
Okay.
And for a lot of people, it is. It could be getting signed, but realistically, it's like I don't think people even really know what that means and what that entails.
Yeah.
So getting signed, I mean, obviously it is a good sign. Sorry, it's bad use of English.
Great pun.
It's a good, It is a good sign in the way that you must be doing something right. But then you can also get signed by a small independent record label that has no money.
Yeah, that's true too.
So then if you get signed by, you put one song out and an independent record label comes up to you and goes, yeah, we want to sign you. Boom. Are you successful? Well, no, not really.
Arguably not, yeah.
I wouldn't say so. I'd say that for me, success is that if I'm making enough or more than enough money that I can not do any other job and I can just do this, for me, I would then say that's being successful at what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can earn money only from this and not from producing or not from doing covers gigs or not from doing anything else. That's for me when I'm like, and for me as well, successful is if I can make that your living.
Oh yeah.
As like you, Josh, Aaron, like if I can, like for me, it's like one of the goals I have is to be able to turn around and say to like you guys is that like you don't need to do any of your shit jobs that you don't like anymore. And I mean, sorry, he loves his job. Don't fire him.
Don't fire me, Dave.
No, but it would be great if I could turn around and say you don't have to do those jobs that you don't like doing, and I can just say that like I can give you a few £100 per show, and you can.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what you're saying is to get the project to the level where maybe just as the backing band, or where we have our credits on tracks and whatnot, it's generating enough income that we can live off it and do it full time, as well as yourself, and
100%.
We all sort of benefit from the success of it.
Absolutely. For me, that's what my success means to me, but then that might change over time. Once I achieve that, I'm sure I'll set the bar higher for what's successful for me. And I think
man, I mean, I'm well overdue for a raise.
And we all are, mate, don't worry. I think to be honest, you probably earn more money than I do from me, because you think 100%. Think about how much money I put into it. Well, I put out a song. How much money do you spend?
Well, I guess that's the difference, is you're kind of in negative equity
all the time,
whereas I'm just not. Yeah,
you're kind of maybe
earning.
hovering above zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I would love to be.
Yeah, which is great.
I would love to be.
Yeah, I mean,
above zero.
Yeah, you do kind of pay for a lot of the stuff, don't you?
I do. Yeah, if we go to the studio, I pay for it. You guys don't have to do anything. I pay for pluggers. I pay for lots of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of money. Like I'm always in the negative. Yeah. So like I look at it as I'm a producer, which is my job, and I do really enjoy that. I'm actually lucky enough to have a job that I do enjoy. There's lots of people that don't. They work in a bar and they have to deal with the general public, and it's not nice.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
The public are dicks.
Yeah, I mean, I literally work in insurance.
Yeah, so you get all the Karens.
I talk to a lot of people like, "Where's my money?"
Yeah, and you're like,
all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So I'm definitely grateful in that aspect that I have something that I do well, it still is music technically, which is why I enjoy it.
Yeah, well, that's something I wanted to cover as well. Like something that I was always told a lot, if I wanted to make a living in music, is to diversify. So like have, your fingers in lots of different pies. So for example, for you produce as well as do your own music and also do covers gigs and things. Do you think that's kind of the most solid way to make a full-time living from music as a broader, just field?
100%.
Yeah.
I think if you're adamant that you just want to do music things, you need to understand that you need to sacrifice how cool you think you are.
Right.
And I would say, obviously, it would be really fucking cool if you could just do your own thing and say, I make all my money from doing my own thing. And it's like a pride thing. Yeah, I want to feel really proud that I'm doing it. But in reality, you won't. So you do have to let that part of yourself go and just say, well, I might have to sell my soul every Friday night and play Oasis in a pub for 200 quid.
Yeah, that's true. You may have to work on projects that you're maybe less passionate about, produce things that maybe aren't,
My cup of
the
tea.
specific genre that you want to be doing all the time.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to, I don't want to say like rent yourself out to people for your that makes you sound like a rent boy.
Well,
but,
yeah. I mean, whatever gets you money,
Yeah, man. I mean, that's one way to make a living in music.
It is.
But no.
But no.
No, we don't condone that. Lending yourself out in different areas of music, producing, singing covers, doing all sorts of things.
Yeah, diversifying is 100%, I think, a smart thing to do. If you're saying to yourself that music, I only want to do music. I only want to be around music. I don't want to work at a bar ever. I mean, fair play. I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah.
I've never had a normal job in my life. I've never worked in a bar.
Yeah.
I've never worked in retail. I've always done music, but the reason I have done that is because I've been able to do like covers gigs. I've played weddings, or like I've done producing, or I've done little bits and pieces that have enabled me to not do that.
Yeah, I suppose what it is if you go down that road, well, it's like we just said, like there's two different things. Like you can be an artist that earns all their money from being an artist, and it's all about integrity and just doing what you want to do all the time, or you can make money from music as a whole industry, and do lots of things that you may just not be as passionate about.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is when you're starting out is to cast the net really wide.
Yeah.
And just say, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get money, as long as it's within music. Because if you're still in music, I've actually made lots of good connections from doing a covers gig, right? Someone see me at a covers gig in a pub, right? Maybe it could be one in every 3 gigs. And someone goes, oh, I really like your voice. It's like, oh, I wasn't a fan of the stuff you were singing, but I loved your voice. It's like, do you do anything else? And I'm like, boom, there you go. That was still something that I could gauge from that. I said, I've got a CD of my own
I suppose
stuff,
it's one of those things that, like, if you improve on one area, it can positively affect another area. So
exactly.
If you take on more work with producing, they may just there may be people that take an interest in the other stuff you do, and you may gain more fans with your own work that way.
100%.
Or, and vice versa as well. You may meet people through your actual independent artist stuff who go, oh, you've got a really great sound. And you're like, oh, actually, I produce all my own stuff. And then you end up producing them.
It works hand in hand. Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, for every song that I produce, I get better, more or less, at producing.
Yeah.
Every whatever. If you look at my production for like the last year compared to 2 years ago, massively different.
Oh, yeah.
So much better.
Definitely, man.
So much better. It does work hand in hand. And if you want to try and work within music, like I said, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, diversifying is definitely key.
Yeah, I think so.
100%.
Yeah.
If you do have another job, be that for me, it's producing. For you, it could be working in a bar. It could be working in Primark, depending on if you're a twat. You can decide which one that is.
Pre-marché. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that could be working in another shop. Could be a bar, a restaurant, whatever it is. It could be OnlyFans. Whatever it is that you're doing to make money, you need to understand that then that money needs to be put into your own music, your own artistry, your independent work as investment.
I think one thing to take from it is you really do have to invest a lot early on. Well, I mean, it's like you said about the J-curve. You start putting in this much money, sink loads and loads of money in there.
And loads of people quit before they get there.
Loads of people quit there because they go, oh shit, I can't afford my rent. Oh no.
Understandably, it's expensive.
Very expensive, and I don't blame them. Then you start to, your levels of success or return
that's the
start
J-curve
to
thing
go
I
up.
meant.
They go up like this.
That's it. Yeah.
Over time.
Yeah, I just forgot what a J looked like, and I panicked.
It is a tough letter.
It is
to be fair.
Really hard letter, to be fair.
I struggle with the ones after E, to be honest.
All right, so section 2 of episode 2
Instagram questions.
Instagram questions.
Yes.
So I asked last week when we did episode 1 for a load of questions, and we didn't get time to go through all the questions we got sent through. So I have made a list of all the ones that we didn't do, and we
Excited to
go
hear them.
through them now. You haven't heard these, have you?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay.
So these will be new to me.
I'll start.
Yeah.
I'll start with this one. This is a fun one.
All right, go on then.
Can you piss while pushing out a shit?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I
definitely.
always thought that like you always peed whilst you pooed. I just thought I've never pooed and not peed. You heard it here first, guys.
You heard it here first. I think that was just a straight yes. Move on.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
3 famous people, dead or alive, at your dinner table. Who would it be?
Oh, like a dinner party thing.
Yeah, like dinner party, or you're just out at a bar having a drink. 3 famous people, dead or alive.
Beethoven.
He'd be an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there would be a language barrier there.
Oh, yeah, you're not too sharp with your German, are you?
No.
Yeah.
Or wherever he's from. Didn't really think that answer through, but Beethoven.
Beethoven.
You know what? I'd love to have Ozzy Osbourne there. I know we mentioned him on the last podcast, but he's a fucking nutter.
I'd love to just see him in person. Kind of almost don't believe he's real. Like I would
he's like
have
a
to see him
story.
in person.
Yeah,
You know?
he's a fictional character.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
interesting.
all right. And then Tyler, the Creator. I know he's not dead,
Oh, that's an interesting shout.
but anytime I've ever seen a video of that guy, he's just on another level.
He seems like he would be really fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really fun.
Yeah, I think he'd be good. All right. Favorite drink on a night out?
Ooh. See, it depends. There's...
You love whiskey, don't you?
I love a whiskey, but not as a night out because I end up passed out somewhere.
In a toilet.
I quite like tequila on a night out.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a party and I'm going out, I'm going to stay out till like 5, 6 in the morning. Yeah, tequila, easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Okay. Right. Let's see. Favorite album of all time? We've been listening to a lot of albums recently, haven't we?
Yeah. You know what? Purely because I'm so uneducated on albums.
Yeah?
And it was one of the albums that I've listened to in full, which is Queens of the Stone Age, Songs for the Deaf.
They had, there's a funny story. They had the tour called Songs for the Deaf. And when they were touring around, I think it was somewhere in Europe or something, loads of deaf people came to the shows.
No.
And were really upset because they weren't songs for the deaf. It was just the album name.
That's class. I love that.
Yeah, which is funny. But it's a great album, man.
Yeah, 100%. What about you?
My favorite album? Oh man, it's just tough. I mean, if I'm going way back to like when I first started getting into music, maybe like Led Zeppelin 2.
Yeah.
Great album. Just some great guitar work, good songs, just great everything. Great drums particularly as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Last one. If you could go back to any point in history, where would you go and why?
I mean, I think I'm going to say the same thing a lot of musicians would say is like the 60s.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In the entire point in history, like you could go back to solve the whole is Jesus real thing.
I'm not bothered about that.
No?
Mate. No, I just
you want to go back to the 60s so you can fucking smoke weed.
Yeah, I just want to do loads of drugs.
Well,
and
that's 70s really, isn't it?
Well, I mean, they did it in the 60s.
All of
too.
it, yeah.
I just want to do that and hang out with Mick Jagger. It'd be great.
You know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Class. Okay. Right. We're going to play a quick game. And it hasn't really got a name. Let's just call it Wordy Swap Game. And the Wordy Swap Game is I will give you 2 words.
Yep.
And say, for example, it could be apple soup. And you have to swap the first letter of each word round. So apple soup becomes...
Supple Alp.
No. Aoup. Sapple aoup. It's the first word.
Apple soup. But there's no A in apple.
Shit, I didn't
so
think
it's
this through.
Supple Alp.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes.
Eloquently explained there.
Thank you.
You've beat me at my own game. Okay. Well, we won't use A's. A's are hard.
Yeah, I mean, let's just fucking see how this goes.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Right. I'm going to ask you to say the word penguin draws.
Okay. Denguin pause. Yeah. Should we do some kind of time limit for this? Or I have to count down whilst you do it? It's like 1, so you have to say it in 3 seconds.
You explaining how to count? Like 1, 2.
Yeah. Just in
case there's anyone that can't count.
No, actually, let's count from 3 down to 1.
Okay. Right.
All right.
Okay, fine. All right, you got to go.
Lampshade.
Shampblade. Gravy spoon. 3, 2, 1.
Spavy goon. Why was that so hard? Gravy spoon. Sravy goon. Yeah.
Congrats? I meant to say congratulations.
No,
Incorrect.
It'd be like gnoon, wouldn't it? If it's spoon, capoon.
No, could you swap the... Oh, fuck it, yeah.
Oh, mate, okay.
No, that's wrong. Whatever it is, that was wrong. All right, go.
Okay, banana peel.
Banana peel.
Very nice.
Okay, all right. So I'm giving you hard ones, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, we'll do one more each?
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's do it. One more each. Let's say guitar strings.
Sitargings.
2. Grings, isn't it?
Grings. Sitar grings.
No, it's
yes.
gritings.
It's guitar
Gatrings.
strings.
Gatrings.
Gatrings.
Strings, isn't it?
Sitar gatrings.
No, it's actually suitar gatrings.
Suitar gatrings. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, right.
This is hard, man.
This is hard.
This
I mean,
is really
if you just
tough.
say, to be honest, if you just say it how it sounds, if it was like banana peel,
Yeah.
like that's yeah. I would have. I mean, really, like sitar grings. I would have let you off with that. That's close
Okay.
enough. It sounds like right.
It is about right.
Yeah, it's about right.
It is about right. Yeah,
Okay, carry on.
Okay.
Right, last one.
Lemon peel.
Pemminleal.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give
Yeah,
you
I
that.
mean it's close enough, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing is I go to check it, but then I don't know myself.
Incredible,
man, that was hard.
And then because this podcast is obviously this game within the podcast it's gone viral. We've had lots of requests for this game.
Yeah.
By lots of requests, I mean
My mum's quite excited about it.
yeah, that's essentially what we mean. So this game, it doesn't have a name, but fuck it, Drinky Sing Song.
I was going to go for Gargaloki. Yeah.
Gargaloki. That's incredible.
yeah.
This is why he's here. This is
Yeah,
why he's
man.
here. Gargaloki. That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
So, for anyone that doesn't know what this game is, I put water in my mouth, and obviously Dan does the same. We put water in our mouths, and we then have to gargle a song, and the other person has to guess what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to go
yes.
first? Would you like to give me a song?
Yeah, go on. I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Just trying to think of which part of the song to do, which is the most recognizable.
Yeah. I know it now. It's Michael Jackson. What is the name of the song? Oh, Billie Jean. Billie Jean. Jelly Bean.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Oh, you're sorry, the camera can't see that.
Oh, thank God.
He snapped.
Oh, mate, I've just... Yeah. God. I'm sorry. It just... Oh, it's Sweet Child of Mine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it.
Yes. Great.
Oh, man.
Great. That was, you know what? That was so much better than my previous attempt last week. My first two attempts, I just like gagged.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you struggle with just having water in your mouth.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Oh, man. Right, should I do another one?
Yes.
What's a good song to do?
Toto Africa. Oh, class. Okay, I got one. Ready?
Ah, nailed it. Is it that song from The Little Mermaid?
Oh, fuck no. It's Green Day, American Idiot.
Do you know what I thought? I thought it was Under the Sea.
Under the Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why you thought that.
Oh,
all right.
Let's do one more.
Yeah, all right, one more.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Try again. Go on.
I can't do that again.
No. What was it meant to be?
That was Back in Black by AC/DC. Did you not get the...
No.
Apparently...
Okay, one more. This is my last one. That was dreadful. That was the worst one. Mm-hmm.
Oh, go on then. I couldn't even guess. Is it the Welsh national anthem?
Fucking Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was quite good.
I was getting glad, that bit.
Yeah, the bit that sounds like Star Wars. No. Oh, Christ. Okay, right. We have now come to the last part of the podcast where we highlight our favourite local music from the past week. And I would like to start by mentioning Bandicoot.
Great band.
And their song Dark Too Long. I mean, this did come out a while back, and I did like it when it came out, but for whatever reason, I've just been like, I saved it at the time, and then I put it on shuffle again like the other day in the shower, and I was like, yeah, this is a fucking good song.
I've been listening to Bandicoot a lot recently.
Yeah, they're great. We saw them, didn't we? We saw them at Castle Emporium.
Yeah.
And
they put on a great show. Everyone
it was
had
an incredible show,
time.
even though they had like the whole sound thing against them. Because for me, that's huge. If the sound isn't right and you can't hear yourself and things aren't going right, for me that would put me off so much to the point where I wouldn't enjoy the show. I wouldn't want anyone else to enjoy the show. I'd be a little fucking diva about it. I mean,
I guess the point is they were playing through a small PA in a shop front, and
they still really impressed me.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, it sounded
great, and they look great.
Yeah.
Do you find that like
Very,
they're this
very cool
great
looking
sort
band.
of? They look cool on stage. And there's great band to watch. I really recommend seeing them and listening to them.
So Bandicoot actually have a new album coming out. It's called Black After Dark, and it's coming out in March. Can't remember the exact date, but they do have a release show.
Yeah, 5th of March in Club Evac.
Oh,
in
you know the date?
Cardiff. Yeah, because
Impressed.
it's the day after my birthday, and I'm gonna go for my party.
Nice. Well, that would be great. I mean, to be honest, I think that'll sell out in no time. So
oh yeah, absolutely.
by the time I say get your tickets, it'll probably already be sold out.
Yeah, and we're gonna be there, so come down too.
Cool. That's my shout out for the week. Dan, what's yours?
My shout out for the week is a great band called Wint, a great local sort of Cardiff band.
Well, actually, I'm not sure if they are Cardiff band.
Well, they play in Cardiff a lot, sort of local
So
to
they
the
are a
scene,
Cardiff
I guess. They play in Cardiff. I've seen them in Cardiff, so they're a Cardiff band. And cool Wint. They have this great song called Patricia.
That's a band.
Definitely recommend checking it out. Just great guitar sounds, great melodies, like just big sing-along chorus as well.
Yeah.
Vocals are great. And it really translates live as well.
Oh yeah, because we saw them at the Globe, didn't we?
We did see them at the Globe, and everyone's singing along and like really, really into it.
Yeah,
and,
it's one of those songs that I think that if you don't know it before you listen to it, when you get to the second chorus, you know the chorus.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Which is a sign of a good chorus, I'd say.
You hear it once and you just want to sing it back as soon as you hear it the second time. It's a great song. I definitely recommend checking them and their music out.
I could not agree more. Dan, do you have any final words for the podcast?
No. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's been a good one, mate. Yeah, I think we said some things.
We said some things in English. Past tense of snot.
Snot.
Good night.
Rock's dead, man. Rock's not dead, it just smells bad.
Hello.
Sorry, you have to stop recording.
That's alright, just come in for a sec. I've forgotten the name of something. We're almost done.
You're almost done, you told me to.
Yeah, well, give us literally like
Yeah, that's all you're having.
a minute. 2 seconds, I promise.
Just remember whose bloody house this is, mate.
Will do.
Just a few quick words from our sponsor.
Oh, yeah.